My name is Jacqueline Torres. This is my introduction for my observing video. I will be observing Miss Casales. She's a kindergarten teacher at the elementary school where I teach. I chose kindergarten because I hope to teach kindergarten one day. I've been teaching 5th grade. This is my 3rd year, and I really wanted to see what it was like in a kindergarten classroom, so that's why I chose Miss Casales for my observation. I came into her classroom at the very beginning of the day, starting at about 8:15. They had just finished up breakfast, and they were starting their morning routine where they do calendar, they do the alphabet, they sing, they introduce each other and say good morning. So it was a very structured time when they were all sitting. They all knew what was coming next, this song and then this song, and then we do the alphabet and do letter sounds. So it was a very structured time, and they all kind of knew what was going on. There was a lot of movement involved, so they were doing one thing, sitting, and then they'd be standing up, and then they'd be sitting, and then they'd be standing up. So there was lots going on, but it was a very structured time, and they all knew exactly what was supposed to be happening. During my meeting with Miss Casales, I asked her what instructional strategies that she would be using, and she did say that movement was one of the instructional strategies, that she has a very energetic group. There's about 21 of them, and they're very energetic, especially in the morning. They like to talk, they like to move, so her instructional strategy is just movement. Lots of the songs they sang all had hand signals that went with them, or some kind of body movements, whether their arms, their legs, their feet, clapping, stomping. There was a lot of movement, which I could tell they definitely needed because they were pretty antsy when I walked in the morning. Small group instruction was also another one of her instructional strategies. She said it's really necessary to get maybe 3 or 4 of them to really grab their focus, and the others are doing something else, that they really need small group instruction. Her differentiated instruction was movement. She said a lot of them cannot sit still and listen to her talk or watch her do something on the board, that they need to be doing it also. So whatever she was doing, they were mirroring her, and with hand movements, with clapping, with body part movements, anything, they were standing up and then sitting down, and then standing up and then sitting down. And she said that's one way that she really tries to differentiate for those kids that can't sit still for very long. They're 5, so it's pretty hard for them to just sit still. She also does lots of songs and videos for the visual learners. They can see other students doing the hand movements and the singing, and then they can kind of do the same thing back. So visual learning is one of the differentiated instruction that she uses. And choral singing and answering questions. So whenever she says, what kind of letter is this, the students chorally would say, this is a capital letter. So some students that weren't really sure of their answer feel more comfortable answering because they know the whole class is going to be answering with them. So she does lots of choral activities where they answer as a group instead of just calling on one student at a time, because they do get a little bit shy when they're doing that. So that was everything she shared with me about differentiation. And then I also asked her about how does she assess the student engagement. And she said just a quick scan of the room will tell her who's paying attention and who's not, or who's engaged and who's not. If they're not, it's pretty obvious. Like, they might be rolling around on the floor, they might be under a desk, they might have found a piece of fuzz on the floor and they're playing with it. So she said that it's very obvious if she just does a scan of the room who is engaged and who's not, and then she can kind of grab their attention. Their body language, if like maybe they looked like they were falling asleep, or they're playing with their hands or playing with their feet, she can tell that they're not really engaged in the activity. So she does a lot of, in the middle of a song, she might be like, Samuel, join us, or whoever's not really engaged, to kind of bring them back in. Or she'll ask them, okay, make sure you're getting your hand movements, or make sure you're remembering this stomp. And she'll say their name to kind of get their engagement back in. Yep, that was everything she shared with me about the classroom observation. And then I spent about 30 to 40 minutes in the classroom watching all of this, and I will share those results during my reflection.